Salute, salute, salute. What it is, what it do, what's happening, man. It's Nocturnal Thoughts with a real quick video, then I'm getting out the way. So, a real quick question. If Errol Spence gets to fight officially with Sebastian Fundora, the towering Inferno, should Errol Spence do his strength and conditioning with or without Blu-ray? That's almost a rhetorical question, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like when Spence was with Blu-ray, that was the best version of Spence that we saw. And it seemed like after he departed ways with Blu-ray, he started to slightly decline, which ultimately led him to the fight with Terrence Bud Crawford and lost in almost a devastating fashion. Now, to me, devastating is a strong word because it's like a word that you can't come back from. Once you're devastated, to me, it's like you're destroyed completely. But to me, that's hyperbole. He lost. He lost in devastating fashion. But is he devastated? Can he come back? Or is he damaged as a boxer? He'll never be the same. You know what I'm saying? One thing I do know for sure is that when he was with Blu-ray, conditioning and strength-wise, just from the eye test, he looked completely different. Now, he looked good going into the Ugas fight. That was like a revitalized version. That was a throwback version of Errol Spence going into the Yordenis Ugas fight. But I also keep in mind that he was training with Blu-ray leading up to the fight for Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? And he had to pull out of that fight because he had an issue with his eye, a detached retina. But it looked like he stayed closer in shape, closer in conditioning, coming out of that fight, going into the fight with Yordenis Ugas. He was in great shape. Going into the fight against Terrence Bud Crawford, I don't know who his strength and conditioning coaches were, but obviously the conditioning and the strength, there were some issues. Where whoever fought to blame, or whether it just be the fact that Errol Spence is not able to, train as hard as he used to when he's trying to cut the weight, and if his body's pulling from different areas to get nutrition, and he starts to break down in other areas from damage to his body. Who knows? I don't know. He knows. Derek James knows. Never really got the answer of why he stopped training with Blu-ray to begin with. The only thing I could really speculate was listening to Errol Spence. Sometimes he would say that Blu-ray, as a strength and conditioning coach, sound like to me Errol Spence was saying that he was close to overtraining him. Like, they would do 1,000 or 700 or 1,000 push-ups before they would even start doing the routine, the regimen. And sometimes it seemed like Errol Spence said by the time he would get to go to work with Derek James, he would be already too tired and too sore. And maybe that caused a conflict between Derek James, Errol Spence, and Blu-ray. But that really never completely was revealed of the issue or why they departed ways. But they did come back to train together for the Manny Pacquiao, and I think the proof is in the pudding. Errol Spence looked like he was in good shape, you know what I'm saying, going into the Yordenis Ugas fight. I feel like going into the Sebastian Fundora fight, if that fight is official and it really goes down, he got everything on the line. He got a lot on the line for this Sebastian Fundora fight. I would pull out all stops. I would go for whatever was working for me. I'm going back to that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't spare no expense. I would make sure whatever needs to be straightened out between Derrick James, because I don't even feel like he should be trying to go into the Sebastian Fundora fight without Derrick James. And I don't know 100% if they still working together or not. But if I was Errol Spence, I would pull back the team that was winning. Him, Derrick James, and Blu-ray. And I would get me the nutritionist that I was more comfortable with. I don't even think he had the same nutritionist for the Terrence Bud Crawford fight that he had for the Yordenis Ugas fight. Declan Walsh is one of the nutritionists that he had, I believe. And I think it might have been the same dude that did his strength and I would go to the drawing board and come up with the winning team of what worked for me, and I would go that route for this Sebastian Fundora. I would not take no chances with new strength and conditioning coaches or new nutritionists or new coaches. But that's just me. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. I know this video could be an hour long talking about the whole situation between Terrence Bud Crawford, Sebastian Fundora, Tim Tszyu, Errol Spence, Canelo, Jermell Charlo, Boots, you know, and on and on and on and on. But just for me not to get caught up in the whole dust that's unsettled right now. So Towering Inferno upset the apple cart. He kicked up a shitstorm, and I want to see what happens when the dust settles. But in the meantime, in between time, I don't want to get caught up in some of the conversations that I'm hearing from other channels. I like to try to have my channel be in its own thought process, its own, you know what I'm saying, wavelength. And if Errol Spence, if he gets the fight with Sebastian Fundora, for whatever reasons, however that pans out, should he go back to training with Blu-ray? That's my question. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, sub up, man. I'm going. Salute, salute, salute. Bow.